everybody, welcome back to the Claremont Classic Garage. Today we're going to finish off our 9 1/4 rear axle swap on our 1976 Dodge D100 pickup and test it out and all that stuff. But we're kind of stuck waiting for parts. So we're going to start this video off with cobbling up a little trailer hitch for it so we can, as described previously, use our truck brella when we're at a car show. Here's our little trailer hitch. I mentioned in a previous video that I'm mostly interested in this for the ability to use my my truck brella on the back of the truck. But hey, you never know what it might be called upon to do. And I do like having a trailer hitch on everything I own because on the off chance that you end up, you know, off in the boonies and the tow truck comes around looking for something to hook a chain on to pull you out, this is a good place. So this here is an aftermarket hitch. It's designed for 3rd gen Rams that did not come with a factory trailer hitch. I can't believe that trucks would come without a factory trailer hitch, but on 3rd gen Rams, they'd come without a trailer hitch. It attaches to the 3rd gen Ram using the center hole in the step bumper. And well, they use this trick bolt, right? So it sits down kind of flush, but unfortunately I had to cut it because it wouldn't, I didn't have a hex bit that big. I wasn't expecting to need something like that. So anyway, it's a 3/4 bolt. Lucky I was able to get the stub of it off when I got home. It was actually a little bit loose and I was able to get the Sawzall blade in there and cut the damn thing. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. So I've had it hanging off the bumper and it looks pretty decent. So you can see there how it attaches. When I install it finally, we're going to have to go with a hex bolt up here because I can't find a socket head countersunk one like that. And it doesn't really bother me that much. But we need to put a little bit of a framework in the back of it. Because on those Rams, you know, they've got that round bar that comes down behind the bumper. And the other side, the back side of this attached to that. So we're going to make something similar that we can bolt to the frame under the back of this truck. Shouldn't be too hard. Just this hunk of channel and a couple of hunks of angle iron. Drill a few holes and we'll be all set. And it'll be all bolt together. There won't be anything welded to the truck or anything like that. Alrighty, so here's what we gotta get made up here. This piece of angle iron has to be notched out so it fits. It's got to end up being up there like that. So you can see this is like a wedge shape. So we've got to notch this out so it fits that accordingly. Alright, I've got this thing all set. Nice and square, exactly where I need it. So now we're going to go ahead and get busy with the welder. Wish me luck. Well, that one went pretty well. Let's hope we can get the other one. You can see there, they're both lined up good. See if we can get the other one burned on. That looks pretty good. Last thing I did was I just... the angle iron left a little gap down in here, so the piece that we cut out, I just put that in as a gusset, and it's good and strong now. Good and strong. I guess I could touch up the weld in there. I may do that. Wow, yeah, that turned out pretty well. I got the doors open now to let the smoke out. We'll put them down and then we'll come back and measure this thing and make sure it stayed square. So we can look across it lengthwise like this and see that it's not twisted. That's good. And then we're just going to measure here. Let's see. It should be the same width at the front and the back. So about 38 there. And 38 there. Perfect. Okay, it's a nice cool winter day, so I'm going to put this outside to cool off. And then when I bring it back in, the last thing we have to do is lay out and drill the 2 holes that'll attach it to the back of the hitch receiver. All my homemade junk looks a lot more credible with a coat of fresh paint on it, doesn't it? That's great. So we'll let that dry overnight. And while that's drying, we're still waiting for our brake drums to come, but look what came. Our spring clips. So we can put those on now. So here's our spring clips. They go on easily enough. You'll see here they've got a little tab, and then you'll see here on the bottom of the leaf, right there, there's a hole, and that's where that tab goes. So that's going to go up like that, and there it is. It's in the hole, and then we'll slide the top piece over and put a clamp on it. I put a clamp on it to hold it together, even though Rancho says not to. They say, don't clamp the springs too tight because it'll make the thing ride rough. But it's a truck. I'm not too worried about that. And now you'll see it doesn't look exactly straight. That's because the end of this leaf here, you can see it's tapered. It's tapered, right? So it's going to have that kind of effect on the clamp. But that's okay. So what we're going to do now is grab this with a pair of pliers here and pull it down. And then once we get it going, oh, sorry, out of frame. There. Now the back side's a little more interesting because the frame is there, right? But that's okay. You can get it. The front one anyway. On the other side, I worked it. I kind of pried the spring over a bit. Remember, they're on rubber bushings, and I was able to get the tab past the frame. On the back, it's a little different story because it's way up here. I just trimmed it a little bit. It doesn't really matter all that much. There we go. Well, looks pretty good. Now we'll do the back one. You can see where this one's going to hit the frame when we try to bend it around. So I got to cut it off right there, and that'll give us the space we need. And there we are. Our spring clips are installed. Now there's something else I want to do under here while the back of this thing is up in the air. Here's my next curiosity, the spare tire. You can see it's mounted with the valve stem up. And this goes not really all that far into the rim. I'm curious if I can mount it the other way with the valve stem down, so I could actually, you know, check the pressure in it when I'm servicing this thing. Man, this is an old tire. Like, it feels like it's got air in it, but how much? Who knows? And if you need it, you need it, right? Anyway, let me drop it down. These old racks are, you need to be a freaking contortionist to operate these things, but, well, we'll do our best. Hopefully I won't kill myself. What do you know? We did it. There's the tire. Now in there, valve stem down. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't do that the first time. Oh, it's done now. While I was at it, I pulled this thing out of the back of it. Over the winter, I would like to get it apart. Well, not over the winter, but, you know, soon. I would like to get it apart, see what it needs, order the parts, get it back together. I want to get this thing in because this is what's going to make this truck an absolute blast. Now we can put our trailer hitch up and together for keeps. First thing that's going to go up is the back bracket, or whatever you want to call it. We'll get that bolted to the frame first, and then we'll put the actual receiver on. Then you can see there how it works. Once the crossbar is in, then we put the actual receiver up. It hangs with this one bolt, and I went down to the bolt place this morning and got a stainless steel one instead of that CAD plated one I had. It should look a little nicer when it's older, and there's 2 1/2-inch bolts through there. So that's it. That's all up good. It's snugged up but not tight. I just want to get this one pulled tight, and then we're going to get the torque wrench out and torque all the 1/2-inch stuff to 90 and we'll blast this guy up to probably about 150. All right, that's that all done. It's pretty cool, and let me tell you, it is as solid as a rock. That is on there good. There we are. Brake drums finally showed up, so we just did our kind of preliminary adjustment and got them. You just set them so you could just barely get the drums on, and once they go around a little bit and get themselves settled in and burn the fuzz off the shoes, you can usually crank them up even a little bit more after that. But for now, it's a good starting point. So now we're going to go ahead and get the parking brake adjusted up. Now we're going to get these brakes bled up. The first thing we're going to do is gravity bleed them a little bit. So without any other interaction, you just open up the bleeder screw and let it sit there for a spell. And eventually we'll see fluid dripping out of the bleeder screw. That's when we'll close it up, and then we'll pedal bleed it a little tiny bit. I did the other side, and it worked out fine. So, well, the gravity part, we haven't done the pedal part yet. All right, here we go. We got some drips. So I'm going to close this thing up. Cooper, don't drink the brake fluid. It's not good for you. I'm going to close this up, and then I'll get Deb to give me a hand, and we'll go over to the other side and just give the pedal a squeeze and crack the bleeder. Just make 100% sure there's not a little air bubble trapped in the top of one of these, you know, one of these arcs. Okay, hop in there, honey. No, I won't. Cooper. All right, so we've got our handy dandy old mayo jar attached to the bleeder screw with a piece of hose. Let's see what happens. Okay, pump it up, please, Deb. Hold it. Pump it up. Hold it. All right, that'll do it. We'll go give the other side a crack, and that'll be the brakes bled. And the last thing you see we got to do here is top up the brake fluid. The large reservoir, that's for the front brakes, and the small one, that's for the rear brakes. That's how they used to do this in the old days when the split brake systems were biased front to rear. Now they're biased, they're cross biased, so the two reservoirs are the same size on modern cars. Okay, before we put it on the ground and test the sure grip, I'm going to crank it up. Hopefully it'll go. Oh, almost. The old evaporating gas. And I'm just going to put it in gear and let it run a bit. Okay, it's in high gear now. You can hear the brakes are kind of running in. So here's how you test the sure grip, and this is right out of the factory service manual. You put a hunk of 4x4 in front of one of the back wheels and see if you can drive the vehicle over it. If you can, your sure grip is okay. So here goes nothing. Can't really see anything in the mirror, it's filthy. So let's see. Yeah, no problem. I guess their theory is that if it was no good, it would just spin the wheel, right? Take it outside. I don't feel like really heaving a bunch of gravel into my fender wells, but we can give it a little pop and make sure it spins them both, right? Or it just stalls. accelerator pump in this thing is no hell, is it? Yeah, it won't take me a flat punch, so we'll just put it away for now. See if it'll go over the 4x4 backwards. Yeah, no problem at all. Well, that's it for this one. That was pretty good. We got the rear end changed and fixed the springs and put a trailer hitch on it. All good. In the next video, I'm waiting for some stuff to come in. We're going to redo the exhaust system because when I was lying underneath there doing the axle, the exhaust is, you know, it's all right. It's there. It's in one piece, but it's just got, you know, years and years and years of fixing and patching and replacing little bits of it. And it's all just little bits from one end to the other with reducers and spacers and clamps. It looks like hell. So we're going to redo it from it's got a new tailpipe on it. So hopefully we can reuse that. And we're going to change the front pipe, the intermediate, and the muffler. And it'll be a nice, solid, looking good exhaust system. And we're going to bump up the size a little bit too, because that's what we do. Anyway, I'm going to take off now. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll come and see us again soon. And until we meet again, this is Kevin saying so long from the Claremont Classic Garage.